A wise person once told me, dreams don't work unless you do.
We try so hard in our lives to fit in. We try to fit into certain groups, certain frats, certain sororities, among certain friends, yet the people we idolize are the ones that stand out. But when you're prepared, there is no fear. There is no fear of failure, because even if you've walked out of something and you feel like you failed at it, your preparation is so strong that you're gonna take that failure and turn it into the outcome you desire. And most people stop at failure, okay? We've all failed at things. I'm gonna continue to fail at stuff, right? It's the most powerful tool you can use, but it all depends on how you use it.
What would your future be like if you decided to want that which you desire so strongly that it prepares you past your fears, that you experience the fear, as the one book says, feel the fear and do it anyway?
Life is 10% what happens to you, is 90% what you do about it. No matter who you are, no matter where you are in life, you can take the lid off of your job. And if you're wondering if you still have the lid on in your life, here are some clues that's gonna let you know that the lid is still on. If you're not excited about waking up in the morning, if you're sitting around bored out of your mind, if you got time to do everything anybody asks you to do, you probably got the lid on. If when you tell your dreams to all your friends, it makes sense to them, you got your lid on, man. Your dreams should not make sense to everybody. You got to say something that make people go, how you gonna do that? That's when you got the lid off. And if I were you, I'd do that. I'd take the lid off. Makes sense to me, don't it?
They're always going to get ready to get set to get going. What we've got to do is, boom, just like that, move into action.
Every time you remember your dream, you're removing some dirt. You're digging it back out. The true mark of a champion is, even though some dirt gets thrown on your dream, instead of letting it get buried, you keep shaking it off. You keep moving forward. You keep looking for a new opportunity. You wouldn't be having that opposition if you didn't have something great in you. If your dream wasn't alive and on track, right on schedule to come to pass, you wouldn't have so many things coming against you. That dream is still alive. You may have tried a year ago, 5 years ago, or 40 years ago. Didn't work out. Nobody was there to help you. Go back and try again. This is your time. This is your moment. Your destiny is calling out to you. Can I tell you, your dream is not dead. It's just not in season. Your time is coming. Promotion is coming. Good breaks are coming. Promises you've been standing on. Dreams you've been praying about. Lack is not your destiny. Constantly struggling, barely getting by is not the end of your story. These light afflictions are for a moment. The adversity is temporary. The glory is eternal. Lord, I believe this is my year to get healthy and whole. This is my year to meet the people of my dreams. This is my year to go further in my career, to step into a new level of my destiny. This is my year to accomplish dreams, to break free from this depression. This is my year to meet the right people. This is my year to get healthy and whole. This is your year to see double. This is your year for vindication, for restoration, for new beginnings. Now get your mind going in the right direction.
Here's the secret. The people that do the most with their lives, the people that seem the most self-assured, the ones that seem to embody confidence, the ones that seem to define confidence, they're the ones that had to face down the most fear. They simply didn't linger in it.
Don't hate your competitors. Respect your competitors. Learn from him.
I had a very important person in my life come to me and say, who's your hero? And I said, I don't know, I got to think about that. Give me a couple of weeks. I said, I thought about it. You know who it is? I said, it's me in 10 years. So I turned 25 10 years later. That same person comes to me and goes, so are you a hero? And I was like, not even close. She said, why? I said, because my hero is me at 35. So you see, every day, every week, every month, and every year of my life, my hero is always 10 years away. I'm never going to be a hero. I'm not going to attain that. I know I'm not. And that's just fine with me because that keeps me with somebody to keep on chasing.
That's the thing. Success and failure are generally slow processes. Either slowly building things up or gradually tearing them down. And that's why I say you've got to pay attention. You have to watch. You have to watch every single second.
Choose love, and don't ever let fear turn you against your playful heart.
I believe in manifestation. I believe in putting a rocket of desire out into the universe, and you get it when you believe it. You get it when you believe you have it, and that's the key.
So we want to get really sensitized, acutely sensitized, sensory acuity, to whether what we're doing is working or not. And by the way, sensory acuity is really the measure of a person's intelligence. What I mean by that is, how do we measure intelligence? Intelligence is a measure of the number and quality of distinctions you have in a given situation.
You can handle this, you just haven't figured it out yet. It's all right, this is your training period. This is the tuition you have to pay for what you don't know. You can do this, other people have done it. It doesn't take an Einstein. Get you some people that can teach you some stuff that you don't know. Get you some people that have done it successfully and learn from them. Take some seminars, workshops, read some books on how to manage a business. Change the way you see yourself and begin to tend to the personal details. Understand that nobody's going to take care of your business better than you.
You will notice the most successful people in any field, they are usually the ones who have failed more than anybody else. You see the difference between a successful person and everyone else? It's not a lack of strength. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of will.
It's up to you in a world where we're taught to look outside for answers, for a job that will make us happy, for money that will make us happy. The answer is within. We already have it. We already have the answer, but will we unleash it? Will we give it? Will we own it? Will we truly reinvent ourselves to become the people that we're capable of becoming?
The bow too tightly strung is easily broken, says one of the proverbs. Balance is a gorgeous thing. So be monomaniacal in your execution around your high-value targets, your HVTs, your mission plan, but also build in some rewards. And that's going to send a gorgeous message to your conscious and your subconscious mind that, hey, this daily practice of execution around my deliverables is a beautiful thing. And you create this thing called momentum. And the monk who sold his Ferrari, I went back and I saw this recently. I think there's a whole chapter on momentum. And you become like this. I love skiing. You start off small, but as you go down the slope, you pick up momentum. A lot of people say, Robin, where do I start? I want to start a new business. I want to become a better artist. I want to find the love of my life. I want to be a world-class creative. I want to multiply my financial life. Where do I start? You just start. You just start. There's great power in the start. And when you start, life starts supporting you.
Well, God wants us all to be courageous because He knows we'll face times in life and situations and circumstances that it takes more than just a desire. It takes courage. Many people operate on the basis of fear, on the basis of what other people think. We as believers should operate on the basis of courage. Courage to say no when we ought to say no. Courage to say yes when we should say yes. So what kind of courage do you have? Is yours sort of floating between depending on the situation? Or do you know the difference between right and wrong for your life? And you've made up your mind.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. June 6th live Q&A for Launch Ads. How is everybody doing? Yvonne, Tisha, Santiago, Poet with a Point, Jim, Michael, Melissa, Marla, Lynn, Kelly, Juice, Enrique, Dwight, Dedrick, Chris, and Brian. Great to see you guys. Hey, let's see chat. Lynn from Texas, nice. Kelly, also from Texas. Santiago from Portugal, welcome. Dallas, love it. This is great. And it's always good to see where everybody is calling in from. Just confirm, I'm going to assume, but just confirm you can hear me. Give me a message. Okay, good. Tisha, thank you so much. Hey, guys, I have something to start with today. So in one of the, if you, I watch this preview every week, this countdown. And so I'm always, hold on, let me start the recording. June 6 Q&A, start recording. Let's see. So in the recording or in the countdown, one of the things that I don't remember who says it, but one of the things that is said in there is the people that are most successful have failed the most. And I thought, what a great opportunity for us to talk about our failures a little bit. So, you know, whether you're starting a business online or whether you've been in business, it doesn't have to be in that area necessarily. But what would you say is one failure that you learned from? And it doesn't have to be a major failure. So when in your own business journey or even in life, all right, let's sort of celebrate some of the failures, because if we're willing to learn from them, then we're going to be able to grow like we were listening to in the countdown and have some success. So I'll tell you one just as an example, right? So a lot of you know already, but I was a pastor for 27 years. I moved into coaching, and for coaching, I started coaching husbands, and I went through a whole training process to do digital online business, online marketing, all that good stuff. And my first program was, I don't even remember what it was called. It was a terrible title. Become a Better Husband in 90 Days, you know, something like that. But what I remember specifically is the failure was multiple, right? So number one, it had a terrible title. It was not intriguing at all. It was not engaging. It did not grab your attention. Number two, I had no marketing plan. So my thought was, I went through this coaching program. I'm going to put out a coaching opportunity, and they're going to come. If you build it, they will come. I put the program out there. I actually created a lead magnet. I ran ads, and I got 0 people to come to my amazing coaching program. And honestly, I was very discouraged. It's not how I wanted to start a business, but I learned a ton in that one experience regarding marketing, regarding messaging, regarding knowing your avatar. I mean, all of the things that you really need to learn when you're setting up an online business or any business, so that when I offered my next one, I had a totally different strategy. So the second one, I learned from the first one, don't develop a whole program and then try to sell it. And so I went back to the program itself. I rebuilt it. I didn't even rebuild it. I reorganized it in regard to an outline. I went to some of my friends and some of the people that I knew more closely that might be interested, and I offered them a beta version of a program for a majorly discounted price. And I don't remember if I had 7 people. I think it was 5, 6, 7 guys that signed up and went through that with me the second time. And what I got then was feedback, experience. I can sort of look at how I wanted to present it and change it. And so that second time around, I learned from that first failure. All right, that's me. And we're going to talk about launch ads. Did you charge for your beta? That's a great question, Tisha. I did. And I think I may have charged $79 instead of, $297 or something. I'm pretty sure I charged like $79. It was I don't know how many weeks it was. It was like an 8-week group coaching training session, but I definitely charged for the beta, which I think, again, in my experience now over the last 5 years of being in digital marketing and working with lots of entrepreneurs, if you want to do a beta for free, you can do that. But I think it's still a good idea to offer it at a steeply discounted price if you want to do that, to get some insights, get some feedback, get some testimonials, and sort of get some momentum. So that's mine. Somebody else, just put in the chat any failure that you could share with us, because if we are not able to learn from our failures, I think your entire business is going to be difficult to work with, to grow. Anybody? You can unmute if you want to talk for a little bit. I know we want to get into launch ads, but we also want to just talk about, what does it take to find success in business? And I will wait for a second. You can unmute if you want to. Let me see. Change my view to gallery. All right. Nobody.
One.
Okay, good. Let's go.
And I think Santiago has one in chat too.
Oh, cool.
But I did have one where I did a conference at a hotel. I booked out a hotel, all excited about my new training with my program. And I even got Prudential to want to, provide the food. So when I got ready to have this program, I only had like 3 people that signed up, and Prudential was going to back out. And I'm like, please, just give me some more time. But only 5 people showed up, and then they were family. And I got one person from the gym to show up, but I was still super excited. I fire hosed them. It was a total, disaster so far as their learning. They all were full by the time off of food and all the stuff I trained them on that nobody bought.
Yeah.
But it still, helped me to get that fear off of me, that I could stand before other people and do a presentation. So I've gone on to do many more presentations, work for nonprofits, but it was a wonderful learning experience.
I love that. And you can hear it in what you're saying. You can hear, even as you share your story, the things that you learned in that one process. And so you could have said, I'm not cut out for this. And you could have stopped, or you could have said, okay, so man, I learned a bunch, and I'm going to start shifting the way I'm doing things. That's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Santiago, I failed on closing 5 clients. Yes, somebody else was.
So let me I think it was a little bit confusing on the text. So I'm a copywriter. I've been working over 2 years. I started when I was 14, so that means I'm 16 now. The first year, no results. Tried to book so many calls with potential clients, and 0 results. A year after, I've closed over 6 clients. I value clients, so they pay me $3,000 per month. And yesterday, I had the opportunity to work with Greg.
Huh?
Did you understand?
You had an opportunity to work with Greg.
Yeah. I've texted him. He replied to me. We were in a call, and yeah.
That's okay. So I'm not old, but I am old enough to be saying, did you say you started when you were 14 and you're now 16?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Did you all hear that? A big shout out for Santiago. Great. And look at that. At 16, you're working with Greg and having that opportunity, and you've closed over 6 high value clients. That's awesome. Santiago. Incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible. Good job.
Oh, wow. Santiago, I apologize. I thought you were kidding there when you said that age, but congratulations there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we're all laughing at, sure, you're 14, sure, you're 16. That's amazing. Hey, look at that. Greg Ryder just wrote in from YouTube. He's joining Team Launch Cart. Come on now. we're amazed, Santiago, and that's really cool.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that is great. Let's keep learning from our failures, learning from the things that didn't work the way we thought they should. And that applies, segue now, that applies to running ads, right? Because if you're just starting out, if you've never run a Facebook ad, you've never run an Instagram ad, most likely, even with launch ads. Now, I will say this, you're going to have a lot greater starting success with launch ads than you would without it. But even with it, you have the potential for, I'm going to run an ad and suddenly I'm going to be making $1 million. And we have a lot of opportunity to go from start to success, but there's going to be some learning along the way. So Greg Ryder says, welcome Santiago to the team. That's right. We're excited. All right. Let's see. Let's go to the purpose of today is, especially this first hour, is Q&A. What questions do you have about using launch ads? So my hour is really primarily going to focus on how to use it. What are you running into when you're trying to use launch ads? And we'll try to answer those questions. And then I see Greg's watching on YouTube. I'm not positive he's going to be around, but usually he's available for the advanced one.
I just jumped in.
Greg, he's watching. He's commenting on YouTube. Of course he's around, and he's got a helper.
Yeah, I do. I got my granddaughter here with me, and she's hanging out with me. So
awesome. All right, Kevin, I'm having an issue with my ads, possibly using an old prompt. Kevin, feel free to unmute and show us what you're talking about, and let's see if we can fix that.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, so I was working on my ads. Let me try to do my screen share here. Which one is it? I'm not entire screen. Hold on. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you got to figure out which part to share. That's fine.
Let me do this. Can you see that?
Yep.
So it keeps trying to put into my ad, try us free for 7 days. I think that might be hangover from an old prompt or something. And 30 days of ad management. So I went in and I made a number of changes for what my bonuses are. I don't know how to get there from here, but you can kind of see it up here. These are my what's included, which so I'm selling an AI agent here. I got the built-in, so my bonuses that are kind of part of the system, but I'm positioning as bonuses is the missed call text back, appointment reminder, post-treatment follow-up, built-in CRM, reputation booster, and 6 months of custom blog content. But you can see my ads over here. It keeps trying to say, try us for free for 7 days plus 30 days ad management.
Yeah. So
I don't know how to make that go away.
Yep. So we're gonna go down. Actually, let's go to the top. And let's go up further on the screen. Oh, it's right there. No, right. The little pencil that's right below select your media. Yep. All right.
So I was just going to say, so all that information you put in that little prompt right there.
Yeah.
I would put it under your instructions on that middle tab right there. So I would highlight all this text there because that's going to be the text
just
it's going to pull from.
Stay up where you were.
Yeah, I see it, but I was looking for where instructions were.
Oh, no, well, grab this because so copy this and then click that pencil again.
And that takes you to basically, now close out here. I'm going to show you a different way to get here real quick. Close out here real quick. This is the same areas on the very top where it says brand content, the top middle. Yeah, that's where it's taking you. So click there. Now click on instructions. And I would paste those instructions right here. And I'm going to talk about some advanced strategies when I come up next about how I'm doing exactly what I'm telling you right now.
And then
now
scroll.
this is all the this is
Yep.
the instructions you want on all your ads. Then on that one section you were just at, you're just giving in one sentence what you're advertising today, a free discount, free trial, whatever that is.
Scroll down on this. Are you at the bottom?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
All right. So I'm looking for, though, there's a place where it must be on the offer. There's a place where you actually tell it the additional piece. I think it's in the prompt editing.
You want me to go back to brand info? Or where?
You can try it there. Yeah, let's see. There's a place where you tell it sort of an additional.
Yeah, it's right there at the very bottom. Keep going.
Yeah,
Add
there it
your
is.
offer right
There it
there.
is.
Oh,
Right there.
I don't know. I don't know how I got that in there because I didn't put that in there. Well, maybe I did it one time, but this is. Okay. And I wanted my other color to be white. I don't know. I was trying to do that the other day, and for some reason, see, it gives me this.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
fine.
think
It made it
it's-
white though. Yeah, I mean it's
okay,
white.
I thought it would be that FFFFF.
Yeah,
thing.
it decides.
Well,
which
that's
one
the
it's on.
RGBA,
Right.
as opposed to hex code.
I don't know exactly what it is, but that'll do for now. And then what am I doing? Going back to generate?
Yep.
Or, just
Or not
generate here or
there.
going back?
No, generate here is just generating your brand info.
Okay.
So close out here and go back to your ad and hit generate.
This is under advertise?
Yeah.
Yep. See, I jump on, then I take over, huh? I'm gonna go back to work for a few.
And then I regenerate here. Where am I at? It's because it says still got the old stuff here. So how do I generate new?
At the top, on the left,
Right here?
right where you are. Yeah.
And this is building, but so I noticed one other thing like this, like it's got this big unlock revenue, but it's kind of covering up my logo.
Yeah, I think that looks like a video that was auto created, and you can edit that.
So I'm trying to niche down to the med spa, as opposed to being general.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, so kind of what's my next step? Do I just kind of look at my ad combination? I'm looking to launch on Tuesday. I think I should have all my automations ready and everything.
Yeah. So you got a couple of things. Yeah, you can go through and look at those. I do want to. You talked about your images for your ad over on the left. If you talked about one that was covering up your logo. Oh, it's not on there. Okay.
Yeah, it changed now.
Okay.
Thank-
What about, are you doing, you have a video, you have videos as well?
Well, I think yeah, it's kind of it's more of an audio, but it's in a video format on the website. I don't know if that's what this is or how to even.
Yeah,
check
if you
it.
click it, I mean, obviously that's a video, so you can click it and. Yeah, so this is one of those videos that I think Launch Ads created for you, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I've never seen this before. Pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's very nice. So, but if you go over to the left where it says videos for ads, scroll down. I think that's where your video was that had text. Nope, you're good. Okay. Yeah. So what you're going to do is, I think you could just click, run this ad. I see a couple of things though. The audience size says 0, 0.
I want to be very focused here.
Yeah, you're really trying to niche down to, but I have seen, and Greg might be able to answer this, but I've also seen this with my own ads. When I get ready to run them, I think there's a little glitch going on here because I've gone and cleared my audience and re-added it basically the same way, and it's worked. But let's go take a look at your audience. So over on the left, just scroll down. Your targeting, yeah. So let's click edit. It was right at the top. Yeah. All right. So we're doing target interests. We're targeting Facebook page admins, business page admins, new. Yeah. Do me a favor and just hover over one of those titles. Okay. So it does have audience size here. Let's scroll down. Are you also narrowing your audience? I don't think so. You've got you're nothing there. You've got age and gender is 25 to 64. All right. So we're looking for
location. It says
Oh, you
location.
got one particular town in Indiana. Is that what you're trying to do?
No, not really. No.
Okay. So I'm not sure why it's set for that. Where are you trying
Well,
to
I
add?
set that in there somewhere. I set that yesterday.
Oh.
I don't know
Hey,
how I.
you don't want to do
ended up
that. You
No.
don't
how
want
I
to do
ended up
that.
doing that.
Go back in there and go right back to where you were and type in United States.
Yeah.
Oh, back to
Edit. It was right. Yeah.
here. Mm.
Yeah. Now you can just click out of it. Click. Yeah.
It seems like it's still thinking. Should I review?
Yeah, you want to click return.
What is that there?
Yeah, what is it doing? Click. Yeah, just hit the return on your keyboard.
Oh.
I think he's good. I think he just closed it out.
Oh, okay. So it's just got a suggestion there for Carmel, Indiana. Okay, yeah. So go to the top. Go to the top of this, and click the X. Now you got 81 million to 96 million. So you got a huge audience.
See, so now that's too high, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's too big.
Right.
That's too high. So you've kind of done that. So what you want to do is go edit and you want to narrow your audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you said narrow your audience, hit yes. And now you say, okay, let's say if we want to get higher income or small business owner or something like that. So type in maybe small business owner, which again, you kind of have the small business owner up there already, I think. I can't see.
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you one. Here's a tricky one that no one does.
There's
Type
small
this,
business owners.
Type in travel. Type in like business travel. Okay, that's not it. Yeah, there you go. That's not the one I was looking for. But there's some travel ones that I play with that I've used in the past that I'm like, okay, international travel, first class travel, business type travel. And the thought is like, okay, if they're a business person, they're an SEO person, or a business owner and a page admin, and they're doing international travel, they got money, right? So it was just a way for me to go, okay, here's my target audience, but I want to try to narrow it down to if they got money. And you could put 10%, like you delete business travel for a second and type in 10%, just like the number 10%. Household incomes, 10% of zip codes, click that. See, now you just said, okay, out of all, I want all these people up top and I want them to be in the 10% of household incomes in the country. Now you've narrowed it down to people with income. And what I always do is I save out of that and I go back and look at the audience size. And maybe it made it too small.
So if I'm in here and I select company size 1 to 10, will that further? Is that another narrowing of the interest?
Yep.
No. And let me just see.
But what I typically do is I'll do one at a time and go try to look what the audience size is.
Okay.
Or hover it over and just kind of see how it alters my audience size.
So I'm closing this out to go back to audience.
See, now it's down to 12 million from 80 million. So that's pretty good. But I think a good range is like 2.5 million to 4 million. And that gives you a good enough targeted niche. And I'm going to show some stuff I'm going to show you guys some stuff that I've been testing since last week.
Okay.
That's freaking really amazing. Audience choosing matters, right? It really does matter in some regards. So
where was that other? Oh, when I put in top 10%, then it gave me a drop down, but that I guess I lost. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you what it does is it's giving you a drop down based on your search at the top. So if you type,
I'll just add that, then I'll go back out. And that changed it, but not much.
Yeah.
Dedrick, the recording will be on the YouTube channel. If you go to the YouTube channel, these live recordings are all there. You're welcome.
Which is right here.
Company size 11. Maybe I'll just expand that company size a little bit more.
See, and again,
it's not really. It's very small changes.
Yeah, right. So, because most of them maybe fit that model. But the one thing I want to say again, now we're kind of stepping a little bit into the advanced. When you're doing page admins and business owners and all that stuff, it's recommending, that's great. And depending on what your budget is and how much you want to dial this in, you want to test, I would really theme it and niche it down. So go back to your audience real quick. So again, Facebook page admins, business page admins, new page admins, that's one niche, right? Then you have small business owners, that's a niche. And then you have CEOs, executive CEO, owner, manager, CEO, founder, director, CEO, that's another niche. And then maybe owner, CEO fits in that too, right? So see what I'm saying? It's like you can literally create 3 campaigns with that audience. And now because you don't know, like when you merge in Facebook admins with business owners, with CEOs, and it's doing really good, you don't know what segment's really doing it. Now, again, the cool thing about AI is going to give you the best results anyway. But I'm always trying to learn who my audience is, where it's coming from, where my orders are coming from, where my leads are coming from, where my customers are coming from. So I would take, instead of doing one campaign with all those, I would do a campaign around CEOs, I do a campaign about page admins, and I do a campaign around owners. Does that make sense?
Yeah, small business owners. That's 42 million. But so if I look at that at 42 million, I mean, is that going to generate? That's.
The audience is plenty big enough for sure.
Let me just see what that looks like. Okay. That got us down to not too small now.
Yep, exactly. So that's why you can play with it a little bit and you start to learn your audiences. And that kind of goes back to the short-term goal of, hey, I don't have time for this. I'm going to let it go and I'm going to get some business. Then you just go with the bigger audiences, let the AI do its thing. If your long-term goal is to really perfect this idea of running ads and making money running ads and becoming a really good media buyer, you want to split up your audiences, you want to test, you want to know. So then 4 months from now, business admins is not pulling as good as small business owners. Or whatever that audience is. And so then when you create your next ad set, you know your audiences, you're click, boom, out you go, and you're getting a little bit better results in a particular audience because you know who you're talking to.
So do I start a new campaign with a new audience then at that point?
That's what I would do. I would duplicate, I would copy it. Like once you publish this and get it going, then you just copy and duplicate the campaign. And I'll show you that
next hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I'd be interested to see how to do that. So I'll stick around.
Good deal. All right. I'm gonna, if you want to keep playing around with that, you're welcome to, Kevin. I'm gonna go ahead and go on to somebody else. So Michael said, I have a question regarding Launchads AI recommendation. So what's your question, Michael?
Hey there. I wrote down below.
Oh, gotcha.
That's okay. I'll just read it. So I'm looking at the recommendations that Launchads has given me in the optimization section. And it's talking about potentially messing with my audience, maybe try a couple different images or videos or whatever it might be saying. Can I make those adjustments to the ad that's currently running? Or because I'm thinking that would completely mess it up, or do I need to do a duplicate ad and put those recommendations into the duplicate ad and then stop? Do I stop the original ad?
Yeah, it depends
what's the
on depends
proper
on.
process for doing that.
So the answer is yes. So do you stop the original ad? You don't have to. I mean, maybe it's getting decent. You can. I mean, if you're still getting a decent CTR, those are just recommendations. However, if you're going to change your audience, right? If you're going to change your copy or and any of that stuff, then you want to duplicate and start a new ad, because when you change those things, unless I'm wrong, and Greg can always correct me, but when you change those things in the middle of an ad, it starts its learning over.
Yeah,
And
the learning phase is going to start over for sure.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're doing a $5 a day budget, who cares? It
Yeah.
doesn't matter, right?
Yep.
But if I'm doing a $500 a day budget, I care a lot.
Yep.
Right? So it's
Yeah, so
really
this is,
relative
I've
to the
been
size of
doing-
your budget.
That makes great sense. So this has been a $15 a day, and it's been running for a week now. And it's basically, I've just been doing it for traffic to see the efficiency of the ad itself. And then I want to switch it over to conversions once I kind of dial it in a little bit.
Yeah, cool.
I think that makes sense, right?
Yep.
Yep.
How are
the-
your
right now the
what are your statistics? Like, how's it looking?
Well, the cost per click is at 17 cents.
Nice.
CTRs at 3.8%, which
Yep.
is above,
Yep.
both are above and below
Yeah.
the averages, which is pretty good. But I haven't had a ton of impressions. I think it's shoot, what was it? Only had 682 clicks, so reach has been 7,000, but since it's only $15 a day, it's not getting out to a lot of people. I remember last week, I think Greg said it's hard to get a real accurate indication of how an ad's doing, and you got to have at least 10,000 clicks, right?
Yeah.
To get a
Well, not 10,000 clicks, but 10,000 impressions.
Impressions. Yeah.
now is impressions the same as reach?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm at 7,000. Not too far off from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing okay.
You know, and again, you're getting different traffic with a traffic strategy as opposed to an optimization or a conversion strategy. But yeah, and if you're getting my KPIs or anything under 50 cents a click or 2% click-through rate, higher than 2% click-through rate. And again, I'm going to show this exact stuff in next coming up.
So Dan and Dwight originally got the idea. They say when you first launch an ad, do it for really cheap for just like engagement or traffic to see how it's doing. And then once you kind of dial it in a little bit, then duplicate it and switch it to conversions or sales.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep. No, that's excellent advice.
Is doing it for traffic up front, like I'm doing, is that the way to do it, or is there another option that would be more efficient?
Well,
'Cause I saw that there was-
you know, everything talks. It's about what's your end goal. Are you
Mhm.
trying to get lead magnet? Do you have a lead magnet? Do you have a tripwire?
No,
E-
sales.
e-commerce?
Sales.
And what are you trying to sell?
It's an ebook.
And how much is the ebook?
It's $7 with a $37 order bump.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the $37 bump? A course or something?
No, it's actually more. The ebook is on journaling. It's photo journaling with dogs as the initial emotional prompt for the journaling, right? So I'm offering custom prompts and also custom dog photography as the order bump, so they don't have to do it themselves. They can kind of like they could just pick one and start journaling that day.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than
Yeah. So in your current ad, are you actually running an ad to sell the book?
Not yet. I was trying to dial in that ad first, and now that I've gotten a week's worth of ads run and a little bit of recommendations, then I'll duplicate it, kind of implement
Here's the thing.
recommendations, and then go for the sales.
If you have time, I'm going to show you exactly how to do what you're doing. That's literally, I've been doing it since last week. I've been testing stuff. And I'm going to show you a testing strategy. I'm going to bet $100 no one's ever seen before. And I'm going to show exactly that. So hang on.
Hang on. It's coming.
Cool. Okay, awesome. I'll be
Good
around
stuff.
for the next hour.
Awesome.
Yeah, just in about 15, 20 minutes.
Martine said, I'm struggling to get it under 90 seconds. What is it that you're struggling to get under 90 seconds? A video you're creating or what? And then she also says, when using AI to do it for me, it's nowhere what I want. I put my website link in, but it doesn't pick up the essence of my work. So it is taking me a long time or something to create as I'm having to do it myself. Yeah. So if you can unmute Martine, what do those two relate to each other? But I want to look at your website and look at your process and see if there's something you're doing that's not quite.
Yeah, and Martine, we talked about this when I did my session last week about using ChatGPT to create your ideal avatar. And then you can copy and paste that and put that into your brand creative. And then it's going to start writing ads that really talk to your brand voice. And that's what that section is for.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's only as good as your ability to put the information in.
And you're welcome.
And another big red flag, like if it's not reading your website and talking in the way that you want it to do from reading your website needs help.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we could look at your landing page or your website, because your website should have the essence of your work, because it should be speaking to your avatar. Again, if you've talked with Greg some about that, I don't know if you've done work on your ideal customer. Okay, somebody needs to mute.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Let's see.
I have a question.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay. Let me share my screen. I started an ad like 2 days ago. Yeah, so these are the results so far. So I did the audience size was like 30 million. There was something Greg said here. I didn't get that. What's the range? What is, based on your experience, what's a good range size for an audience?
Well, I typically try to look for 2 to 4 million on my first cold traffic stuff, depending on the idea. But it all depends on your niche and your audience and how big it is.
Okay, so this is a traffic ad, and I want to run after this, just kind of get some traffic. I would like to run like a retargeting. So the retargeting, do I make that a conversion ad?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just wanted to be sure. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. It looks good.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
I want to go to Vina. Oh, unless you have another one, Michael. I want to go to Vina.
No.
You good? Okay. So Vina said, my
Yeah, I'm
Facebook
good.
ad is showing under my business name, powered by AI ads. Where are you seeing that in your ads manager, or where are you seeing that, Vina?
I stopped the ad now, but when I looked, I went in Facebook and viewed it under like as if I were it was on my feed. Like ad with comments, I think it's called. And where it normally says sponsored, it said powered by AI ads. And then
Yeah. So I think that powered by AI ads is basically, I think Facebook is just flagging anything that's created with AI just to let people know.
yeah, I saw that. I'm wondering, is there a way to opt out of that or something?
No, I don't.
Or could it be hurting trust?
No, I don't think so. I mean, that's just, it's just their way of saying, it's kind of like, when I go look at images in FreePic and it says, these are AI, it's just informing people that this was created with
And,
AI.
and it won't deal with the trust issue at all unless your ad is like a fake person that looks real. Like if you had a, you know, a celebrity or whatever, and it was a deep fake celebrity talking, and they go, okay, we know this is a deep fake, right? Because it looks so real.
Yeah.
But so depending on what your ad copy is in your ad, it's not going to affect stuff at all. But it's a new ad requirement, and there's no way to get around it.
Okay, so I still have
6%
good
clicks.
clicks, but no opt-ins. I'm wondering, and now when I'm on my feed, I just see how many ads are going to lawyers. So I'm wondering if I should try, instead of a checklist, like a 5-minute video training or something else where once they opt in, the training's right there on the page and it gives them everything I need them to know, and then the book a call, or what you might recommend other than checklists.
Well, I would say, I mean, Greg might have something to say on this, but I would say absolutely try something different. I mean, absolutely, if people aren't interested in, or, you know, there's a lot of reasons they might not be opting in, but absolutely, I would try a different lead magnet.
And I'm thinking maybe just put myself, like a video where I'm talking. Try
Yep.
different things other than the checklist.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, that and then what I'm going to do based on this, I'm going to give you guys a quick little lead magnet training. I actually did a training yesterday for my son for his golf community, and so I have it handy. And I'm going to give you a quick little training on lead magnets because it's a little bit ahead of schedule where I'm at, but I'm also going down that path, and each week I'm moving you towards how to test your avatar, how to figure out your avatar, test your messaging, and create the perfect lead magnet. That's what I'm teaching.
So do you feel
I'll
that would be
explain that in detail coming up.
That sounds great. I'm wondering though, what's the, what do you see that's working that's the best thing to get them on a sales call as the front landing page? Any ideas?
That depends on your product, depends on your audience. I mean, it's
women lawyers.
Yeah,
So it's a predictable revenue. I'm wondering if it's trainings or lead magnets or
what's their number one pain point?
lack of predictable revenue. They're relying on referrals. So that and attracting a high value client. That's been getting a high click rate. When I went to the lookalike audience, it went from like 3.5% to 6% click through. But then the checklist, maybe it doesn't, then it's another thing for them to go download, or maybe they think that won't deliver. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna change something to get the conversions. We fixed the language so it says pretty much what the ad says. I changed the color so it's just cleaner.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the only thing left to change is try video training, try some different creatives, like maybe some pictures of me traveling, some freedom lifestyle. I'm just wondering, but I really want to try to convert this quickly.
I would go with the actual magnet. I mean, I'm not a woman lawyer and I've never played one on TV, but but you got to be old enough to know what that means, right? But
I do. They don't click that one. I had that one in there. I had it like a checklist. You can see it. It's blurred, so you can't see the whole thing. But that got low response.
Yeah. I mean, is it too? I mean, this is what I'm wondering. Just thinking about, again, I don't know, but is it too simple? Right? It's like, I don't want to download a sheet of paper.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I
Yeah.
said maybe try the training.
Yeah.
So it goes, because even with the checklist picture of the checklist, it converted the lowest, but they still were clicking.
Yeah.
Then they don't go download. Maybe it's they don't believe that this piece of paper that they won't even get a chance to look at will do
Well,
anything.
and also to be honest, when you're given value for an email, is it enough value, right? Is it like, well, I'm not giving you my email, you're just going to start sending me spam messages and to get a download. So yeah, you might be right. I would try a 5-minute 5-minute training. I'm going to show you 3 things that will whatever.
The promise, the outcome. Okay.
Yeah, the outcome. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Right. Martin, we could not hear you And if you're here and if you want to try unmuting again, I see you lost your internet. Okay, I think my issue is what I'm launching. Okay, let me just do this. Feature. I think my issue is what I'm launching is something I founded, which is Clear Brain Yoga Facilitator Training. The AI thinks it's yoga, which it isn't. I've done an ad with ChatGPT, but it was still showing the reviews. Perhaps I should just show less reviews. Are you, again, I'm still confused. Are you saying that your ad is too long? Are you doing a video ad? I'm not still positive what. Obviously, I get it that AI thinks it's yoga. I'm not, without talking to you, I'm not exactly sure what your major concern is. I want to help you. Oops. Jan Guo says, I have a 197 and 997 e-learning product. How much should I spend on ads for each product to test whether that offer works out? I was looking today at recommendations for how much you should spend for ads, and Greg, you're the guru on that. But if you're
It's one of those variables, right?
It's
So
such
it's
a variable.
$197, 97 e-learning product. How much should I spend? Well, again, with a lot of us that are in the new business and you don't have a lot of clients, you don't have a lot of history, you don't have a lot of pixels, I'm gonna talk you through the idea to consider lead magnet, tripwire, core offer, return path, right? And I'll go through that real quick when I kind of get going here, when Kevin passes the baton to me, right? Because again, getting cold traffic to $197 offer is a little bit difficult without a massive value proposition. Now, if you're doing on webinars or you're doing maybe getting them to watch a 10 or 20-minute VSL or something like that, then you can for sure get $197 out of people. But just cold traffic to something like that, it's really about that lead magnet first and building that rapport, take them through a customer journey, thinking the customer journey through, and I'll show you here in a few minutes what I mean by that.
That's good. Let's see, Michael. This may be. If you have a question for Greg, you can ask if we don't have other questions at the moment, but maybe you'll have to wait for the next hour. Michael, go ahead if you have.
Okay. Greg, I got the Launchcard AI and the Launchcard CRM Basic. Okay. I've not dived into it. I've just been using the AI, the Launchcard AI. So the CRM Basic, can I use it for upsells? Can I use it for I want to write, and there's an ebook I want to write, kind of collect funds, buy it, sell it. I'm still trying to figure out how I can use the CRM Basic.
Well, the CRM Basic is, it's got a bunch of features and functionality for you to emailing and text messaging, and there's a whole bunch of features and functionality for you to kind of nurture your community, your database, and kind of manage your customer relationships. So I can't remember what's even included in the Basic because I always use the Pro, but yeah, it's for sure you should be using it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start doing, I'm actually going to be working this weekend, and we're going to start doing trainings on the CRM as well. Just like we're doing these ads, I'm going to do trainings on the CRM. We're going to become a training maniac. We're going to start. I think I'm going to do literally 4 days a week. You pick which one you want to join.
All right. Thank you.
That's amazing. All right, Martine, I know you can't get your mic working. So check your audio settings for meeting, and also maybe your system isn't allowing you to have access to the mic. But here is your site that you're sending people to with an ad. Okay, so this is Lead the Mind's Next Evolution. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what actually works. Most modalities calm the mind. Killer Brain Yoga rewires it. Clients don't just hear it, they feel it. Yeah, but what's the result? Like what? Okay, if I'm your ideal customer, what am I supposed to be
Yeah, we're
drawn
not
to?
getting what the end result is.
Yeah,
What's the
what am I
transformation you're taking me
getting?
through? As a result of this, you're going to experience what? As a
Yeah,
result of my
exactly.
product or service, you're going to experience what? More happiness, future, more money, more income, better relationships. Like you need to speak to the end result. You got to
Yeah,
sell the
so
end result.
yeah, so like you won't just help people unwind, you'll help them repattern at the source at the level. But so what? What is that going to do for them? We're not dismissing what you're saying, but you gotta let us know what our result will be and what, because you're teaching teachers, I think, which by the way, that's not clear. Oh, you do say clients don't, but yeah, I would, you know what I would do? I would take this text. Let me show you. And I'm just going to go all the way down here. Okay. That's a lot of text on your sales page. And I can't see your FAQs, by the way. And I would just take that and go to ChatGPT, which I know I'm not showing you. Let me just show you real quick. I will stop sharing and go back and share my ChatGPT screen. Let's see, share window ChatGPT. All right, so this, I'm going to say this is real, and you can do much better prompts than this, but this is just a real simple. This is my sales page. Help me make it better. Seriously, this is a terrible prompt, but there we go. I just copied your sales page and pasted it into ChatGPT. So it's going to review it. It's not about doing, wait, this is it literally. It's compelling. That said, it could benefit from improved flow structure, clarity. This looks like your. Yeah, I don't.
Okay, let me, means how you're doing that. Let me share my screen real quick.
Yeah.
So do you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a little tool that does
Oh
what you
yeah,
just did.
let's see it.
And so let me see if I can get it bigger.
You already did.
Hold on a sec. I got to try to get it bigger. Okay, the headline: "Lead the Mind's Next Evolution" is intriguing and aspirational. It suggests transformation, but lacks specificity about the benefits or outcomes for the reader, which is what we were just saying.
Yeah.
Clear value proposition in the first 7 seconds. While the initial statements are poetic, they may not immediately convey what the user will gain. Clear, concise benefits should be presented up front. So again, this is what we were saying. Testimonies are present but located further down the page. Incorporating true signals about such media features, certifications, or client logos near the top could bolster credibility early on. Call to action. Apply to be one of 6 creates urgency but lacks clarity about what the user is applying for. A more descriptive CTA would improve the understanding. And so when you have the right tools and the right prompts, you know what how to do this. It just tells you exactly what to do. And I'm gonna copy and paste, but out of 60, you got 28, right? So and then there's also above the fold. And then the other thing of this tool, I have another tool that I would do is, okay, how does it look on mobile? Like, how does it show up on mobile compared to what we're looking at Distack? Because remember, everybody, how much of our traffic's coming from mobile?
More every day.
60%, 70%,
50, 60.
80%.
Yep. Yeah, and it's interesting too, because you saw what happened when I did it. Martine said I used ChatGPT to build the page. Yeah, but that's another key learning reality. Using ChatGPT doesn't really mean anything if I mean, it can be helpful, but you've got to prompt it with asking the right questions. And or you have to have a tool like Greg is talking about that already has the right questions built into it and is gonna evaluate it, not just, are the sentences nice, but is this an actual sales page which has good. Somebody else just mentioned in here about call to action. Somebody said they need some help on. Marilyn said, I need some help on great CTAs. Absolutely. So this is part, when we started this hour, I sort of vamped off of our countdown, but a failure is an opportunity to go, what did I not know, or what did I not do? And man, using AI, unless it's tuned, and so Launch Ads AI is tuned for sales, but ChatGPT isn't necessarily. So even had I gone to my question and said, make it results oriented and help me with the CTA. Oh, you guys aren't seeing this. So I just did, one thing. I said, make it results oriented and become a facilitator they never forget. All right. What changes for you? I'm just reading it up, but before Clear Brain Yoga. All right, let me show you this. I made one tweak.
And I'm trying to paste it in the chat, but it's not letting me paste this much information. So I just put it on a Google Doc for you, and I'm going to give you the link.
Awesome. Here's look at this. So I just said, it gave me that feedback. But again, part of being a digital marketer is understanding some principles. Make it results oriented and give me help with CTAs. All right. So here's what it says. Results oriented reframe. What changes for you as a facilitator? Before it, you're drained after your sessions. You're over explaining insights that don't stick. Clients feel calm but fall back into old patterns. Okay, those are things you don't want to have happen when you're a facilitator. I'm still not exactly sure, what it means to be a facilitator. But after, feel energized, client shifts. Those are results. CTA section, your next step. All right, what do you need to do? This is high integrity, energetically aligned training. So you can see that if you just ask another question and help ChatGPT, if you don't have the tool that Greg has, that he's going to show you, I think, how you can get that tool. Just learn to prompt better. And there are lots of prompts out there that will help you with it. But
hey, real quick.
Yeah.
Take this prompt I just put in there, copy and paste that, and put that in what you just did and see what it gives you.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I'm going to take it. All right, I'll share my screen again. Let's go back to ChatGPT. All right, I'm not even going to restart. I'm just going to put that in. Acted as a marketer. What are 10 examples of problem statements face when? Oh, I need to fill this in.
Well, just hit it anyway, and let's see if it figures it out. It might figure it out.
For your ideal avatar. Breathwork guides, mind-body practitioners, Reiki facility. Yeah, it did figure it out.
Right. So I need a way to help clients actually shift, not just feel calm for a few hours. So this is the stuff that is in your, if it's correct, right?
Yeah.
If it's in your ideal prospect's head, these are the words that they're thinking. These are the things that are coming out of their brain. And when you start running ads and building landing pages, building lead magnets, that talk to the problems that they're thinking about, and then you offer the solution. Again, going back to what he showed you a second ago, the before and the after. Here's the before, here's the after. That's when you start conversion like crazy.
That's really, yeah, that was a good prompt. You got it in the chat there, guys. Grab that prompt. I like this one here. I need something deeper than mindset work. My clients are stuck in mental loops. You can feel the frustration there. You can feel the I really want to help people. Yeah, again, Martin, I mean, you can see that just a couple of tweaks on how you ask the questions, I think you'll get better results. And maybe you need to, buy some prompts. Don't just buy prompts though, because everybody's selling prompts. You got to get the right ones. Get them from Greg Ryder.
Well, it's not even really buying the prompts. It's anyone can create training prompts. My prompts, I've been trained on the world's biggest library of digital marketing assets.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and I pay a lot of money for my prompts. Like that prompt I just did and what I did, it's trained on 20 years of digital marketing stuff. And so, it knows how to talk, what to say, what to do. And so I pay a lot of money for this stuff as part of a membership of my friend Brian Dice's business. And so therefore it saves me time. Time is money.
Yep. And also that's why I said, buy your prompts from Greg Ryder. All right, Greg, it's 3:00. It's time to move on to advanced. Do you want me to stop the recording and start it again, or what would you like?
I think I will, because I last week, let's do both of them. Let's stop and start both of them, because I was just looking for last week's training and then I couldn't find it because we didn't do it quite that way. It was kind of still merged in and I couldn't remember. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
I can start the streaming again for
YouTube.
I can't start it in the group again. Well, I can try.